It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. You are watching First Warning Live. We focus on all things weather, and because we get hungry from time to time, we're sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Now, I might have some audio issues. If I am, please let me know in the comments section. Working through that little kink, but I think we'll get through it. And we're giving away 22 pizzas this live stream. So whether you can hear me clearly or not, your belly will be grateful that you get some dinner or pizza dinner. Winner, pizza winner. Those will be announced at 8 o'clock at the top of the hour. But let me get first to the big story. The warming trend continues. Oh yes, the warming trend continues. And that means for you, for me, that we're going to have some more warmth than we had today. Now if you look at our cameras, these are live looks, mind you. Williamsburg looks okay, mostly clear. Got a gorgeous sunset, went down at 7:16 tonight in Norfolk. You can see that just glowing on the horizon and the Oregon Inlet there. So this gives you a sample of what we're seeing right now. But temperatures vary quite a bit. Want to say hello to all of you. Edna wrote a note about 23 hours ago, says, thank God for upcoming warm weather. We're getting it. It's coming. Diane Ladyhawk saying, I cannot wait. Thank you, David. Glad to have all of you here. And again, I'm just going to import the newer comments that come in here just momentarily. So bear with me. But I want to show you the temperatures. They do vary quite a bit. If I'm not mistaken, it is 43 degrees right now in Virginia Beach. 43 degrees in Virginia Beach, but 46 in Norfolk and 48 in Suffolk. We have 45 in Hampton, 44 Newport News, and it's still in the low 40s right now in Manio. Big shout out to Kim Thompson-Jones. She's on here saying hello, everybody. That's a live note. Glad to see her here. And I do see she says, I can tell audio is different, but I hear and understand you fine. I will keep projecting. I see the bars are moving, but it's not the microphone on underneath my tie. I can tell you that. It's probably being picked up by the cameras around me. I'll do my best to get through it. I appreciate everybody's patience because you know what? I like to say all the time. I'm a work in progress, right? I may not have it all figured out today, but we'll see how we do throughout the rest of the week next week because we'll have a better chance to get that ironed out on Monday because I will be back on Monday. But just checking in with the comments from you. I see we have quite a few people, maybe a few more people that have added on here, but I do want to say hi to Kim, and I do see Taj Brown. Taj Brown is on here. He just made a note. I think he said heyo, but he's on here. I do see his comment as well. So we've got him as well. I don't know why we have this defaulted limited, like on the comments section. I'll get an automated story that's leading into something else, but that's neither here nor there. Taj is here, and I'll say hi to him. A big shout out to says hello, heyo, First Warning Live. All right, so back to the temperatures. Have you noticed there's some variability today? I said a warming trend continues. Some of you like didn't feel that warm today. It may be because of the fact that you're pretty close to the ocean. You're pretty close to the Chesapeake Bay, maybe the ocean itself. Temperatures today topped out at 49 degrees where? Right here at Virginia Beach. It was 51 in Norfolk, but that's still 11 degrees warmer than yesterday because both Norfolk and Virginia Beach hit 40 for a high on Wednesday. Chesapeake, you hit 52. Our friends in Ahoskie, 58. I do believe there was a 60 around Bertie County, but 61 in Emporia. Clearly 47 in Wallops doesn't seem very warm at all. And a lot of it has to do with the water temperature. When you bring in a northeast wind from this time of the year, you're going to feel the chill right along the coast. And that's really what we saw today. We'll overcome that once we have a southwest wind, which we get tomorrow. Southwest wind tomorrow will be about 5 to 10. Low temperatures this morning were cold. This 34 that we hit here occurred at 12:15 in the morning. And I indicated that we would probably see our temperatures rise a little bit, and they did rise a little bit to 36-ish, maybe a few hours later, but fell to 30 in Virginia Beach, 28 in Chesapeake, and 27 in Emporia. That's cold. But if we move this along, which we will do, temperatures did get into the low 50s by the time we hit about 2 o'clock. If I'm not mistaken, this represents about 2 o'clock 5 o'clock actually. It took late in the afternoon to hit 51 here. But notice the blue areas here from Currituck, Kitty Hawk, very chilly. 47 Manio. This is the influence of the ocean temperature. right? Even along the eastern shore, very cold. But 60 here, 63 winds are probably one of the warmer numbers we saw today. But there was some blue shading here up toward the upper neck or northern neck and up toward Gloucester, the peninsulas. Very chilly, no doubt, because of that wind out of the northeast. Temperatures right now are getting colder where it was chilly. 46 in Norfolk, 43 in Chesapeake, and 43 in Currituck. Want to just bring you up to speed. At 8 o'clock, we're going to announce the pizza winners from Marco's. And if you are curious, there is a deal of the week this week that you can save some money, almost half off for a Pizzoli. Call it a $5 Pizzoli week. They've got 4 opportunities, whether it be the pepperoni and sausage, my personal favorite, chicken bacon ranch, or the buffalo chicken, using the WTKR David promo code. So if you go to marcos.com and use the promo code at checkout, our call letters, WTKR David, you'll get a $5 Pizzoli at any one of these 6 locations. Really cool. As well as the fact that you get a pizza for a year certificate if your name is pulled out randomly, which we'll do in about 15 minutes from now. The Pizzoli is fantastic. It's much bigger than it looks, and it is very filling. But you'd be hard-pressed to get out of a drive-thru for $5, but that will fill you up, and you can even share it if you are so inclined. You might say, I can only eat half of it now, half of it later, but that is one of the options you have with the Pizzoli. And it will give away, again, just a big shout-out to the giveaway. To satisfy your appetite, go to WTKR.com/Marcos, because next week we'll give away some free pizza again to next week, but we'll do it at the top of the hour. So if you don't win tonight, you could win next week. All right, looking at these temperatures, 50 in Suffolk. Look at this. I mean, 51. I know this seems like it can't possibly. This is actually 10 degrees colder than normal. Normal high is 61. So we were 10 degrees below normal, but we were 11 degrees warmer than yesterday. It's progress. We're making some progress. We're making some headway, and that definitely falls short of the 87-degree record high set back in 1945. So if you really think it's been cold, you really have to look at the calendar. We've had 13, almost 2 weeks now, of above normal temperatures for March. March has been warm, and it probably isn't worth, maybe it is worth reminding, we had 2 record highs last week on the 10th and the 11th. So 88 on the 11th broke the record high by 6 degrees. It took out 3 ties. We had like 1925, 1986, 1990. All of those records came tumbling down with a 6-degree leap on the 11th of March. But now, because of today's 51, normal high is 61. 61 is normal. So we've now had 6 days below normal. I only point this out or reiterate this because if you can have some cold days and warm days in winter, right? We had warm days and cold days. We're going to get the same thing once we cross the threshold tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10:46, we're going into spring. Doesn't mean it magically turns that way. If you can have really warm days in winter, you can have really cold days in spring. That's coming. And I think it's going to really take hold when we get to the Cherry Blossom Festival. Oh, you back on that kick? I am, because that's the problem. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday, the trend keeps building. That we're going to see a big cool down just in time for the Cherry Blossom Festival. Maybe we don't get out of the 40s for highs on that Saturday the 28th. That's the data that I'm seeing today. Could it change? Of course. It could definitely change, but I think it's possible. By the way, how's your bracket? Some people are like, oh, you have a bracket? You're a weather guy. Yeah, I have a bracket. I don't know. I think I've got 5 of the last 6 games, so I'm doing all right. But I know I'm watching basketball tonight as well as you are, perhaps, on your bracket. Let's take a look at this interesting monthly temperature. I mentioned that we had 6, if you count February, March, April, May, June, July, very hot and humid. We had 6 months in a row of above normal temperatures. This was a trend I think is going to build into this summer. Now, August was the turning point. We were 3.5 degrees below normal for August and by August standards. And we followed up with 7. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 months below normal in a row. But as we move back toward El Nino, which is expected by the end of this year, we're going to turn a corner. But we've already turned a corner in March, right? I told you it was warm. We're now, with today's high of 51, we're now plus 6.6. 6.6, which would suggest if we're on this 6-month, 7-month pattern, we'll be warm in March, May, April, June. Well, May, June, July, August, September, probably right into the fall. I suspect we're in for a hot summer, so heads up there. I'm expecting a cold Saturday for the Cherry Blossom Festival, although it runs through it goes from the 27th to April 3rd. So that Saturday, well, I'm sure will be packed. I was there last year at that time, and it was a beautiful sight. It is a beautiful place to go, but I have a suspicion it's not going to be weather cooperating. It won't be weather cooperating because we're going to have some cold air coming back into town for that. Checking out the lows tonight, how about 35 in Suffolk? That's what I expect. 40 for Hampton and Cape Charles, and about 37 in Gloucester. Checking in with the comments. Let's see here. Duke gave me a scare. She said, "Oh yes, it did." Imagine. Now I'm a Tar Heel. I'm also a Wolfpack, and so Duke. I can't root for Duke. It's not in my DNA. It's a four-letter word. You know how that goes. You know, when you have rivals, faithfulness to your team, doesn't matter for me. I'm an Eagles fan in the NFL. I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Carolina fan. I root for State, but I can't root for Duke. So even though if Duke had lost, I'd have to do I have to rip up everybody's bracket, would be ruined, I suspect. But there'd be a few Carolina fans going, yeah. I mean, you said it's just how it goes. And those of you who are loyal to your team, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I see David Marshall. He's excited about pizza. He's got his fingers crossed for some free pizza. We'll see whose name is on the list. It's in my computer. I'm about 9 minutes away, so bear with me. We'll do that at the top of the hour. Thank you, David, for reminding me. And I got some claps in here. Let's see. Good evening and blessings. So our good friend James Washington. Is that you, James? Great to see. Kudos to James. You see his picture? It's nice, and it's. Some people do these long, far away photos. Take a close-up photo, provide it to Facebook, and I'll be able to show it on the screen. So you and I can see the smiling face of James Washington. I can almost hear him saying, "Good evening, blessings." So it's good to have him here. Glad to have you watching. As I said, we're going to give away some pizza here in just a few moments, but I'm going to get back to the weather. Also carry this down the road. So we've got a chilly, because this is first warning. I'm giving you first warning. I gave it to you last night, if you were paying attention. I think the cherry blossom around the 28th of March, probably pretty cold. May not get out of the 40s. And yesterday's data, the GFS thought we could see some snow and sleet on the 28th. It's pulled back from that. But it's still remarkably cold for this time of year going into the first day of April. And that would cover most, if not a good part, of the Cherry Blossom Festival. But lows tonight, no picnic. This is the last night of winter, because it is technically winter. 33 in Hosky, 34 Wakefield, expecting lows about 37 in Norfolk, about 42 for Corolla, 35 Chesapeake. Weekend planner, I did make some modifications. If you're very observant, I took the 70 off the board for Saturday. I think our winds are going to change direction. That northeast wind may have an influence. So I don't think we're going to be as lofty as 70, but 65 I think should cover it. And then Sunday will be the warmer of the 2 days. I think we're in the mid-70s, even warmer on Sunday. But even that's an improvement of where we've been. And if you are playing the home game version, you've got a scheduled tweet on Twitter or X. Go ahead and send out a seasonless greeting set for 10:46 tomorrow morning. You will be on par or right on point if you send out a tweet scheduled at 10:46. So the social media platform will do the work for you. Countdown to spring. Look at that. Spring equinox. Most direct rays of the sun move north of the equator. The vernal equinox, the spring equinox, starts at 10:46. So that's nothing magical. As we've already mentioned, we can get warm days in winter. We can get cold days in spring. Now, tomorrow's a real sweet trend. I like it for the fact that we're well into the 60s. And again, the winds are generally 5 to 10 out of the south-southwest. So I think we'll overcome the water temperature influence with that south-southwest wind, but sunny, and then a few cirrus clouds late in the afternoon, but boy, do we cloud up. But it may be raining in Williamsburg by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Repeat, it could be raining in Norfolk as early as about 9 or 10 p.m. tomorrow. So it turns cloudy pretty quickly, but the good news is it's now running about a 40% chance of rain late Friday night, carrying into Saturday morning, but should be gone about 5 a.m. Saturday. Most of us will be dry after 5 a.m. Saturday. The Saturday outlook looks decent, but I do want to give you a heads up. As glorious as tomorrow will be, there will be some rain on your Friday night plans. Let me show you the temperature forecast. This is model driven. Keep in mind this number here isn't necessarily representative of just Norfolk, Chesapeake, not just Norfolk or Virginia Beach, but when you throw in Chesapeake, Portsmouth, it's kind of like the entire south side. And I wanted to show you what it looks like tomorrow morning at 5. There's 37. That's about as low as I think we'll go tomorrow. But then it pops it up to 65. And I know I'm going 66 for Norfolk, but if you go inland, if you go towards Suffolk, you go toward Smithfield, you're going to find some numbers in the 70s, I think, by the time the day is through. And that's what's suggested here. 72 for inland Virginia, 69 for the Albemarle, and 70 for the peninsula. So I wanted to show you the raw data, but there is certainly a chance here with that south-southwest wind to outperform expectations. I'm thinking 66 is reasonable, but some of you will be exceeding that expectation in the low 70s, especially further west of Norfolk. Temperature trend, 66, 65. We pop it to 75 on Sunday, and then I think we're back to 50 on Tuesday. The benefit is we're not putting a down arrow here anymore. I think the 70 will maintain through the afternoon, so things have slowed down, and then we're going to go down 20 degrees on Tuesday. Does that help? I hope that helps you plan, because if you're concerned about temperatures, I'll have to wait and see how it goes. I got a couple of notes here. James Washington saying, yes, sir. He says, oh, yeah, he's excited. I'm catching this in stream, but he's also noting that, why was it cool in August? We had a big pattern change. And we talked about it on this stream about a week before it happened. And boy, do you remember how humid it was, June and July? We had some really hot air in the 90s. Way up into the 90s on June and July. And it was really hard to sell the concept that, hey, fear not, it's like we're going to turn a corner on August. We did. And so these things tend to happen. And I know it's just pointing out Norfolk specific, but the weather pendulum swings much like the tides at the beach. Why was it high tide at this time of the day? Why was it low tide at this time? It just swings back and forth. Depends on the day, depends on the season, and it also sometimes depends on ocean temperatures in the Pacific and the Atlantic. But the satellite radar shows a few wispy clouds now. I suspect it's going to break up. We had a few drops near Roanoke earlier today. There's a front draped across Ohio tonight, and it stretches back across Iowa. Hey, we're just 4 minutes away from pizza, but I wanted to get through the future cast. The clouds that may be out there now seemingly disappear by 11 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, it's a sunny outlook as the sun comes up precisely 7:08. At noontime tomorrow, it's another sunny start to the afternoon. No complaints here. And notice the wind, kind of a southwest. It's in that range, 5 to 10, and it stays like that until evening. Now we start to cloud up, and lo and behold, the rain that's up there will come back down. That's 5 o'clock. There's 7, so we've got the potential for rain in Williamsburg now between 7 and 8 o'clock, stretching across Matthews, Accomack County, Eastern Shore. For sure, we'll see some of this rain first, and then maybe Surrey, Wakefield, Sussex County. These are the counties that will get the rain. It'll eventually come to Norfolk. You don't have to chase it. It'll come down by 8 or 9, it would appear. And if this graph model is within reason to think that it would be, it's going to bring the first impulse in and during the evening hours. But there's more behind it that you don't see yet. Let me push this forward so you can see the clock. That's 9 o'clock. And this will take us through, when does this take us? This takes us through 11. Now it starts to move toward Duck, maybe passing by Knott's Island, back toward maybe Roanoke Island and mainland Dare County. Then we go to 1 a.m., and there's more activity back here. There could be a rumble of thunder where you see some orange. That's a possibility. There will be, again, most of this out of here before 5 a.m. There's 3. I definitely see 3 a.m. and there's still some lingering showers not far from Edenton, Elizabeth City, perhaps around Back Bay or into Currituck County, Camden. A couple of showers. And by the 5, 6, 7 o'clock, it's gone. So I don't want you to think that the rain we get late Friday night will have anything to do with your Saturday. Once the sun is up Saturday morning, it looks pretty good. I left a 10% chance because it could still be in the Outer Banks early morning, but really it's a pretty nice, I'd call it a partly cloudy afternoon. The 10% chance might cover this little hiccup in Bertie County by 5. Most of us are dry this weekend once the sun is up. Hopefully that gives you some context and also some perspective. Saturday night looks good. And look at this beautiful live shot right now overlooking The Hague here in downtown Norfolk. Current conditions are in the mid-40s. Feels like it's 40, but the winds are out of the southeast right now, about 7 miles per hour. It is just about 8 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears since this is a good pausing point to check in with you, and then we'll announce some winners. Maybe you know who's going to be on this list, but we're going to give away free pizza. 22 of them will go out the door today in certificate form, meaning 12 will go to one individual, and then the other individual pizzas will go out, just like I said, go 1, 2, 3. We'll do 10 of them. So let me go ahead and get that started now. Checking in with you. I got David Marshall following up. He has a comment. Let me take my Marcos down so I can read it. It says, he's ready to open the pool. Bring on the warmth. Hey, Hey, there's no harm in that, but I would keep your expectations tempered. I wouldn't expect that we're going to be racing to the warmth next weekend. We get a little nice warm spell Sunday, mid-70s, but I'll tell you what, if you compare what's coming, I think, later on the 28th of March, right through April Fool's Day, and that's no joke, I think we're going to be much, much cooler than normal, and I'll show you evidence of that coming up. It is now 8 o'clock, time for a pizza winner announcement. This is our free large Marco's pizza with one topping. Notice it's going to be going in certificate form, U.S. mail, so just give it a few days. I urge you not to throw it away if it has the words Marco's on it, and I didn't order this, or if it says WTKR on it. Don't throw it away. You're throwing away free food. Don't throw away free food. Food is too expensive as it is. So let's give away the first two winners in no particular order. We're going to Newport News tonight and Williamsburg for some winners. That would be Angie Neely and Bill Alley. Congratulations to you both. Winner, winner, pizza dinner from Marco's, compliments of them. And when you do receive the certificate, which I am confident you will, you'll want to be able to go to one of these 6 locations. So if you are far away from the 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, or 1 in Norfolk, a little bit of a drive may be needed. We'll have to wait and see how that goes for you. Number 4, coming on the screen right now, that would be Brenda Waldron. Did I say that right? Good evening, Brenda. You just won, and you're in Poquoson. So I know there's a little bit of a drive to come down maybe to Hampton Boulevard in Norfolk. But Poquoson, next time you're here, Brenda, a pizza is calling your name, and it's free. Charlene E. Felsen from Chesapeake is also a winner tonight. She may be one of your neighbors. Let her know if she's not watching us live. Let her know she just won some free pizza. I know it's cool. Very cool. And we've got more winners. Don't want to leave at number 4. Let's go on to number 5. Number 6. This would be Norfolk, Virginia Beach winners. Darlene McLean. Way to go, Darlene. Well, what did I win? You won a large pizza from Marco's, and you can decide whether you want one topping that's pepperoni, maybe you want green pepper, black olive, maybe some mushroom, whatever suits you, but pineapple works too. Some people are like, ooh, you do that? Whatever suits you, you can do it. One topping, one free large pizza coming your way, Darlene. Jeannie Doyle, also a winner tonight. Congratulations to our friend Jeannie. If she's watching, congratulations. And number 7, we go back to Chesapeake, to Jennifer Bynum and our friend. We're going to North Carolina. We're not stopping in the Commonwealth. We're going to Moyock. Stuart Scheck has just won a free pizza. I mean, I'm so excited for you, Jennifer and Stuart and Darlene, Jeannie. I mean, there may be some of you like, I've never even tried Marco's. If that's the case, now you have reason to go to Marco's in our region. Again, we had those 6 locations on the screen. Number 9, number 10 are next, and then we'll do the grand prize winner of the week. Number 9 is Tamisha Walton Harding from Chesapeake and Yvonne Peel of Chesapeake. 10 big winners tonight for free pizza from Marco's. Again, they don't have to do this. They do this because they believe in their product and they believe they've got a competitive edge with all the other competition, especially the national chain. So I love Marco's is available. And as I mentioned, you can get a $5 Pozzoli this week as well. Don't forget that is also an option for you. So just want to say hi. Again, we're going to announce the number 1 winner of the week. But first, you knew I had to do this. We have to throw into the air some confetti. All right, free Marco's pizza for a year is going to our friend in Norfolk tonight, to Wilma Robinson. Congratulations, Wilma Robinson. You didn't just win a pizza, Wilma. You have just won the grand prize, which is a whole pizza for a year, which means you will be getting in the mail, U.S. Post Office, pizza for a year, and that will be good for March once you get it. But you'll get another 1 large, 1 topping pizza for free in April. And 1 in May, 1 in June. If you put it on your refrigerator, under a magnet, anyone who comes to visit in the kitchen, they go, oh, you won that? Oh, yeah. You can share with all your neighbors and family and friends. I'm sure you'll be a big hit in your neighborhood. You'll also get 1 in January, February of 2026. 27, I should say, because next year you got 2 months in 2027. But your name will be typed up here, and you'll be able to go to any one of these individual locations because they're the ones participating in the contest, as I mentioned. But very happy for you. And if you didn't win tonight, fear not. We're doing it again next Thursday. As we get closer to the Cherry Blossom Festival, you'll want to tune in to First Warning Live. I'll have perhaps your name the next go around, but I do want to congratulate all of our winners. Those would include Angie, Bill, Brenda, Charlene, Darlene, Jeannie, Jennifer, Stewart, Tamisha, and Yvonne. And the big prize winner tonight from Free Marco's Pizza for a Year is Wilma Robinson. So glad to have you all watching. All right, going back to weather, because that's what we're here for. I wanted to highlight for a moment the fact that we have temperatures right now in the 40s. Now, if we could get out of the 50s, like some of us did today, there was like 163, I think, in Bertie County. Wouldn't it be nice? Sun went down at 7:16. Here's a recap of what you may have missed. We're talking about warming up 60s tomorrow with bright sun, but this is where things get confusing. I thought it was supposed to be nice tomorrow. It is. But we will cloud up closer to 5 p.m. There will be some showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder. To characterize that everybody's going to get a storm might be over amplified. I think there's a few rumbles. It's potentially there, but it's not widespread. Might be isolated thunder, but showers about a 40% chance. And then we have rain out of here by 5 a.m. Saturday. But Sunday looks warmer to the tune of almost 10 degrees. I think Sunday will be significantly warmer than Saturday. As far as the precipitation, I was very, very deliberate to put late night. Most of us won't see the rain until well after dark, and then a 10% chance both of these days, and then we bring back more rain on Monday, the way things are shaping up. If you haven't downloaded the News 3 First Warning Weather app, I hope you'll do so. It's free. Find it at the App Store, Google Play, and NOAA's Weather Radio, another great source to get information, especially when your phone happens to lose charge in the middle of the night. Because if you lose power and your phone's not charging, it's good to have the NOAA Weather Radio as a backup. We are still pretty toasty. If you need evidence, just look at these +8s, +12s in Wakefield, +7 Elizabeth City, Kitty Hawk, Manio, 4 degrees warmer now, even at 8 o'clock. We were in the 30s in most cases this time last night. I do remember that. But Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, you're at 42 right now as we hit the 8 o'clock hour. And it's 51 Windsor, 46 Surrey. Our friends in Yorktown checking in at 45. Pocosin, where we had one of our pizza winners tonight, is currently at 43 degrees. Big shout out to all of those who are watching. I got an amazing comment from James Washington. Glad to have him here. Also got a note from congratulations to Kim. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. She said congratulations, winners. It's a nice treat to be able to give away free pizza. I don't have to make the pizza. I just get to give out the winners. That's the best job on a Thursday. Ask me. But it's nice to be able to have some winners and people who will have some free food headed their way in just a short period of time. 46 right now in Hertford, 42 Nags Head. If you want to know what the last day of winter looks like around the country, look no further than right in here. They're pretty toasty. They were in the 90s in parts of Texas today, Oklahoma. These are current temperatures, mind you. It's currently 90 degrees in Albuquerque, Lubbock. It's 104 Phoenix, but Vegas is a desert. They're at 94. But 82 in Rapid City. I mean, it's warmer in Rapid City, South Dakota than it is in Florida right now. Crazy, I know. But if you go north, and I point this out because this is where these cold outbreaks start from. They come down from Canada in modified form. They're not in sub-zero, but they're at 12. That's pretty cold up there in a place called Fort Severn, right on James Bay. And some of that cold air may make a return visit. That's what I suspect. In fact, if I were to show you some of the, this is from yesterday. I didn't get to show this, but if I show them back to back, it really makes, I think, an interesting map. Let's see here. So that's the 18th. And then this today. And if you look a little bit closer to today, you see there's a little bit of redness here. So the signature of cold air coming down is still, it's not going away without a fight. Just to say that we're going to see this go in probably through the middle of April. And it is coincidental because middle of April is when we typically see our last freeze in some locations. The blast frost typically around the 16th, 20th. Williamsburg is the 12th of April, Wakefield 26th. So it's not uncommon, and this is over a 30-year period of 91 to 2020. It's not uncommon to have frosty conditions in some mornings going into April. I know it's, our patience has grown weary of it, but when I see this, I see a signature. That was the 18th. We go back to today, and this is all going to be coming down, and it's probably going to drop our temperatures in a big way. Maybe not snow, Maybe not flurries, but it could certainly be cold enough where you can see your breath and people say, enough already. I'm ready. I'm done with this. Like, if you're looking for consistency, look no further than the month of May or June, right? We'll still have severe weather going into the coming months because you get a clash, right? You get the warm air, humid air, and then you get the clash. And where they meet, you typically see outbreaks, especially where fronts are present. And they can happen at any time, even when my computer decides to go back to sleep. But I can tell you it's 84 Hastings, 70 Des Moines. Chicago's 47. So really, once you get past west of Chicago, it warms up pretty dramatically at this time. So that's something to look at if you're looking around the country. It's 42 in Virginia Beach. How do I know that it's going to get cold for cherry blossom? How would First Warning Live have any clue? Well, just look at the long-term modeling. The purple is the Arctic air. It does this thing, I like to call it a bouncy bounce. It looks no different than the tide, right? I had one person, and I've told this story many times before, maybe not recently, but I had a person call me when I was working in Knoxville, and they got on the phone and said, I'm going to the beach next week. Could you tell me, will it be a high tide or low tide when I'm there? And I said, well, you're going to get both. And he thought I was being a smart aleck. I said, not being a... He's like, well, pick one. Is it going to be a high tide, low tide? I said, it's not a complicated question. You can usually have 2 high tides, 2 low tides in the same day, same beach. But that concept is foreign when you think about it in weather, because weather is nothing more than the atmosphere and water vapor. It behaves a lot like the ocean. You need more evidence? Look at this. Follow this timestamp right up here, right? Once we get to the 28th, I think I paused it. Let's take you to the 28th, which is the Cherry Blossom Festival. That matters around here. And this white line, you see here, that's the 32-degree line. And so you're looking at some really cold air dipping down into North Carolina and Hampton Roads. It's going to be unusually cold, where I suspect the 28th, which is Saturday, based on today's data, we may not get out of the upper 40s on that Saturday. And I do know that the Norfolk Tides will be playing baseball. Now, I am jumping a whole weekend ahead. I don't want to miss out on the fact that we're going to be in the mid-60s Saturday and mid-70s this Saturday, Sunday. So the Shamrock Marathon will be warm, but I think certainly the start of the Cherry Blossom Festival has the potential to be cold. And that is your evidence right there. Pretty cold. But it bounces up and down like the tide at the beach. Watching the cold air, it's like pegging jello to the wall. It just spins around James Bay, but there will be impulses, there will be troughs that dip down, and it'll make it feel awfully cold from time to time. Taj Brown is on here. I want to say congratulations to you, Taj. He has been watching and sending me these cool, yes, I like it. See, he's got the emoji. See, you could do that. You could attach, who's watching, you could attach perhaps a picture. When you have snow on your deck, or you've got rain, you want to show me a picture, you can put it in there. Attach it to the comment section. So glad to have you here. Joshua Griffin is on here. I think he indicated, he says, I'll enjoy my 40-degree weather. I don't know if you will enjoy it or just have to grin and bear it, but it will come and go, no doubt. Here's another way to look at this. Look how we warm up tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, mid-60s, right? Just follow the color coding. The upper air pattern, once the warmer colors arrive, would suggest warmer air. And we start Saturday in the mid-60s, a little warmer on Sunday. Sunday we've got orange covering most of the Tar Heel State, and it's yellow in Virginia Beach. But then there's a big pullback. That's not necessarily Monday as it is Tuesday. Tuesday it looks a lot cooler. We're back to green, shades of green through Delaware and the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. And then you can see once we go into, oh my goodness, let's take you to Saturday the 28th. I can't get over the Cherry Blossom because it's such a great event. That looks cold to me. That looks really cold to me going into the 29th. So if you're needing more evidence, the dip here is going to be a serious drop in temperature. It'll be cold enough for frost across much of Pennsylvania. And I think I said we'll find temperatures probably struggling to get out of the upper 40s based on today's data. Next weekend, I'm talking about 28th, 29th, does not look nearly as warm as this weekend is and will be. The 21st, 22nd looks way better than the 28th, 29th. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, keep moving here at 8:13. Not a whole lot to see here on the national map. If you're in the military, I'm going to zoom back in here on the Pacific Northwest. I got some rain showers near Seattle tonight. Nothing severe. These are more clouds from Bismarck. We've got some snow around Lake Michigan. Not far from maybe International Falls. It looks like Marquette may get some flakes here in a while. Parts of New England might be getting a few flurries, and parts of New Hampshire, Vermont. And the rain I mentioned maybe near State College, Harrisonburg, they're getting some rain up there, but we'll find a pretty quiet night tonight as we drop back into the 30s. Yes, 30s. Now that would represent some of the Friday night rain here, but it's gone by Saturday morning. We zoom in over the next 10 days here on the European model. You can see more rain coming back in maybe on Monday, and then it's gone. And then we get a little bit closer, and you can see there's some snow in the Great Lakes as we head into maybe next week, and then it really starts to snow in north of Chicago, into Michigan, but there's really no expectation that we would find much in the way of wintry weather except the chill that comes next weekend, the following weekend, about 10 days from now. 52 in Beckley right now. It's 52 in Myrtle Beach. We're one of the chillier spots, although 35 in New York City is kind of chilly. Cold, 42 Virginia Beach, 48 in Hatteras at this moment. Checking in with all of you. Let's see here. Patrick Kelly makes a very good observation. And he noted that he said it looks kind of like nuts to be in South Dakota, and it's 82. Yeah, if you were in Tallahassee and you spent your money to go down to Tallahassee and you're 20, 30 degrees colder, that is kind of nutty. Yeah, Tallahassee is 66. This is 82, so you're not quite 20 degrees, but you're still pretty big stark difference. Say from Myrtle Beach, 52, Rapid City, 80. There's a 30-degree difference between Myrtle Beach and Rapid City. By the way, the supercomputers are doing their job by posting near normal weather. Why be normal? For most of us through the March 29th. But as you know and I know, you can have an A on a test one day because you study, and then you didn't study the next, you got an F, and you got an average of a C. Nobody said you were a C student. If you applied yourself, you would have gotten an A on both tests. See what I mean? It's just an average. A, F, average is a C. This is saying you're going to get some warm days, you're going to get some cold days, so we're near normal. It's not something you should hang your hat on, although it does its best job to show you it's going to be toasty hot out toward Phoenix, Vegas, and perhaps in Albuquerque. And below normal weather will prevail in upstate New York and maybe toward Maine. But the future temperatures just follow this. This is exactly like what we're looking at with the other Arctic air map. The cold air is the blue highway. The really Arctic air is in white over James Bay, and it does pour down by the 28th. So this will come and go. It won't last beyond perhaps maybe the 30th, maybe the 1st of April. We'll see some ebb and flow. But let's get to, as we've hit now 8:16, the high temperatures tomorrow with mostly sunny skies, about 61 for Bloxham, Saxa 62, only 55 for Chincoteague and Onancock, about 61. I've got 59 for Cape Charles, and a beautiful day in Exmoor, It's 60. Duck, North Carolina, 58 for you tomorrow. Nags Head, 59. Notice the abundant sunshine here. 62 in Manio, and I got 61 for Rodanthe. Hatteras, Ocracoke should be around 59 degrees tomorrow. Wanted to show you the one area. Now, I don't normally post this, but I thought it would be important to see it. You see this light shade of green? This isn't even really a category or a level. We think of level 1 is dark green, level 2 is yellow, level 3 is enhanced, and we heard so much about what happened a couple days ago over the weekend, Monday. We were level 4, which was probably overstated. But where you see the light shade of green, what would we call it, teal, that's just general thunderstorms. That just means there's a potential for a rumble of thunder. Now, I mentioned to you, I'm not expecting thunder to be widespread. But if you look at tomorrow, nothing to see here through tomorrow morning at 8. But you look at Friday, and you see those two colors. This is what I wanted to highlight. Where there could be isolated severe storms would be our friends in Huntington, Ashland, Kentucky, Portsmouth, Ohio, Charleston, West Virginia, perhaps maybe towards Snowshoe. They could get an isolated severe storm. But D.C., Roanoke, and part of Hampton Roads are fair game for a general thunderstorm Friday night into Saturday morning, because this will carry us through 8 o'clock Saturday morning. So it really puts it on the doorstep of Wakefield, Gloucester, and maybe Newport News and Seaford. So I'm not expecting widespread thunder, but if you're shaded green from Stony Creek to Gloucester, you have the potential for some convection, perhaps sometime late Friday night in the wee hours of your Saturday. I don't expect much, but that's what that is to signify, which is why I added the extra green, just so you know I don't expect thunder for North Carolina. That should be absent. In fact, there's no severe threat expected for Saturday, so we'll skip that map entirely. So again, just to recap, tonight, mostly clear, 7 a.m. sunny, noontime sunny, but we cloud up by 5. And the way things are trending, we bring in some rain. This may be new data because I don't remember seeing the 3 yellows here. So that might be where rumbles of thunder occur. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Looks like maybe it's quicker into Norfolk by 9 o'clock. Again, this is just one interpretation from the graph model. Some are faster, some are slower, but it will be after dark in most cases, where you get some rain tomorrow night, moves through a husky, moves to duck, and then by 11 o'clock it's pretty much gone. I'd say by about 5 a.m. it's pretty much gone. You can see there's even some coloring down here, maybe a more moderate rain shower, but the graph would suggest at 3 in the morning we're not done with all of the moisture still there, but it's gone by 5, 6, or 7. So that trend is still maintaining itself. We're going to hold on to an expectation that we stay dry on Saturday itself. By the way, tonight's lows, I mentioned 34 Franklin, 37 Elizabeth City, 42 Duck, 42 Corolla, 37 Melfa. Cold enough to see your breath, but where we could see 70 would be Portsmouth. I think we got a good chance of 64 for Virginia Beach, 68 for Elizabeth City, 71 for Suffolk, and there's the 66 I have. 69 for Moyock, 71 Smithfield. It is going to be a nice day tomorrow. And then again, once the clouds start rolling in, it'll change the composition pretty quickly. Tomorrow morning, we're down to 30s, mid to upper 30s, probably closer to 40 for the Outer Banks. And then 66 could easily be in the 70 plus the further west you go, but the peninsula is 58, a good average. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. So 65 goes to 75. Loving this. You already have an expectation for the following Saturday. The Saturday that would be the 28th, it's going to go down. So we expect 71 here, and we might get a little bump up Friday before the rug is pulled out from everybody. So, why couldn't it be nice? And I'm going to remind everybody that trivia I put on there. If you can have warm days in winter, you can have, wait for it, you can have cold days in spring. And we will. And some of it will be very crabapple about it. I'm not happy about this. Like, what did we do to upset Mother Nature? Nothing. It's working its course. It's just doing its thing. That's what it does, for sure. So again, just to look at this map again, if you haven't seen the 7-day, I do have a 20-degree drop on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be sun-filled, cooler, and breezy. But you can clearly see we're back in the 30s. Back in the 30s on Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning, the way things are shaping up right now. Checking in with you. Love saying hi to you. Got Melissa Scott here. Hi, Melissa. We got some more interaction. I love this. We're on Virginia Beach weather. Need warmer weather. I'm just the messenger. I agree you need it, and I wish I could deliver it, but at least this weekend, it's still going to be pretty chilly. Water temperatures in the 40s. We cover that. But your best day for warmth in the next 7 would be, I think, Sunday and perhaps again on Thursday. But Thursday will include a few showers, Melissa. But and kudos to you. I got to see your beautiful face on here, too. So I love the fact we've got not only people leaving comments, but I can see them a whole lot better. I got a big note. I got to give them a shout-out. Watching the Tar Heel game. That's what I'm probably going to do after this. Go Heels, absolutely. And I'm also rooting for Tennessee. I've got more irons in the fire. ACC, SEC. It's just it's just kind of what you do. You hang around a town long enough, it rubs off on you. James is being very complimentary. I want to wish him a great night. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for you. And again, we're talking first warning, so we have a lot of expectation for colder weather for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and I think it's going to be a hot summer. Go back and watch this live stream. I kind of put our history, and those numbers come by way of the National Weather Service. But I did some homework, really presented that in more detail yesterday's live stream. But I do think we're on this trend where we had above normal for 6 months, then we were below normal for 6 months. It's just how pendulum swings. And that's really what La Nino. Right now we are kind of in a neutral phase, but we're likely to go back to an El Nino by the time we hit the end of 2026. So fall, winter, that will be another variable to consider when we make a winter expectation or winter forecast, or even really a hurricane forecast, because sometimes our big hurricanes come in September, October, as we've seen many years before. All right, just a reminder, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. We'll get my audio worked out hopefully better next time around, because I do keep a microphone. No secrets here, right here. But it's not connected for whatever reason. So I'm using the microphones on my cameras. Just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. Just make sure you know that every day is a gift. And next week, just to let you know, for those of you that stay through these entire live streams, next week I'm going to present a little bit more personal information. If you liked back when I started, I did a lot of history so you would get to know me. Family members, famous mom in the business of pageants and stuff like that. I'm going to go into a little bit more. Another chapter has come across my plate, my menu. I've suddenly been exposed to something new, and I wanted to share that with you next week. So if you are interested and that's what you like to hear after the weather, I'll get up close and personal and share some personal stories next week. I look forward to that as well. Anyway, in the meantime, just make the most of it. Enjoy your pizza, because we did get a big winner with Wilma, and we got some individual pizzas that are going out. Wilma got pizza for a year. And our friends here got 10 individual pizzas. And if you haven't, make sure you get the $5 Pozzoli. You don't have to clip a coupon. Just use WTKR David. WTKR David, that's our call letters and my first name, and it'll take about half off the Pozzoli. It's really, really good, and will fill you up pretty quickly. So again, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you guys here. As I come back on camera real quick, we'll find it real quickly, say that appreciate your time, and I will cover all of this in more detail next week. But in the meantime, enjoy the March Madness, because there is weather madness here. There's no doubt about that. We'll see you here next time. Take care.